station on music and sports and entertainment. We are High Power 102.7 FM, the pride of the people. The pride of the people.
Good morning and welcome to another beautiful edition of In the Papers, coming to you from iPower 102.7 FM, the program where we present and discuss major headlines from newspapers within and outside Nigeria. I am INIOLUWA and with me is
ABDULRASAQ.
This morning I will be reviewing headlines from the Hope newspaper, the Punch newspaper, the Nation newspaper and Daily Post newspaper, while my colleague will take us through the headlines from...
We have the Punch newspaper and the Daily Post newspaper with me as well.
We will take a short break. When we return, we'll go straight into the first set of headlines. Yes, glad to have you back. You're still on to In the Papers, coming to you from iPower 102.7 FM. And now we will proceed straight into the headlines, starting from the Hope newspaper. Ayedatiwa jerks up salaries of Amotekun operatives.
And starting strong from my side as well, from the Punch newspaper, we have Ondo approves 350 million naira for students' scholarship bursaries.
Still on the Hope newspaper, SEC warns Nigerians against fake investment platforms, Ponzi schemes.
Another headline coming through your hair from the Punch newspaper as well. 2025 revenue targets met. No more borrowing, says Tinubu.
Still on the Hope newspaper, talking Ekiti 2026. My ambition not worth blood of any citizen, says Oyebanji.
Another headline coming through your hair from the Punch newspaper as well. We have again Southwest tops as voters registration hits 2.5 million.
And now taking a flight to the Punch newspaper, National Assembly cautions WAEC on planned CBT rollout.
Another headline coming through your hair from the Punch newspaper as well. We have customs intercept firearms, 4,841 ammunition in Southwest.
Still on the Punch newspaper, Atiku slams federal government as bandits sack Kwara village.
Still on the Punch newspaper, we have National Assembly caution WAEC on planned CBT rollout.
Still on the Punch newspaper, Osun Deputy Governor ex-PDP scribe face anti-party allegations.
Moving straight to the Daily Post newspaper, we have Tinubu orders security review in Katsina, back state police.
Still on the Punch newspaper, Nigerians unshaken by Trump tariffs trade policy, says Tinubu.
Another headline coming from the Daily Post newspaper as well, we have El-Rufai should be questioned over bandits allegations, says Dati Baba Ahmed.
Moving on to the Nation newspaper, PTAD ICPC signed more U to tackle corruption in DBS.
And that is all for the headline for today. We'll go on a short break. When we comes back, we'll give you details of the further stories.
Ayedatiwa has approved a higher minimum wage for Amotekun operatives in the state. He made this disclosure while parading 28 criminal suspects at the corps headquarters in Akure. Adeleye further explained that Amotekun personnel also enjoy coverage under the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund and a life insurance policy benefit he described as major incentive, boosting the morale of his officers. The commander expressed appreciation to the state governor, the Ondo State House of Assembly, journalists, and residents for their continued support, describing Amotekun as the most welfare catered for security agency in the Southwest. For more details on that story, see the Hope newspaper with the headline Ayedatiwa jacks up salaries for Amotekun operatives.
And starting strong from the Punch newspaper, a story coming from Ondo State as well. We have Ondo approves 350 million naira for students scholarship bursaries. Now to the detail. Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa of Ondo State has approved the sum of 350 million naira as payment for the 2025 scholarship and bursary for students of the state's origin in higher institutions across the country. This is contained in a statement by its Chief Press Secretary, Mr. Ebenezer Adeniyan, on Tuesday in Akure. According to Ayedatiwa, the payments will cover 5 categories of students, including medical students, law students, and students with disabilities. He noted that the money was approved for about 12,000 students, which was an improvement from that of 2024, when the sum of 335 million naira was disbursed to 11,200 students. Ayedatiwa noted that in 2024, the annual bursary for the students was increased from 10,000 naira to 20,000 naira, while students with disability got 75,000 naira each, and scholarship beneficiaries got 100,000 naira each. If you're interested in this story, you can check the Punch newspaper with the headline Ondo approves 350 million naira for student scholarship bursaries.
Still on the Hope newspaper, SEC warns Nigerians against fake investment platforms, Ponzi schemes. And now the details. The Director General of Securities and Exchange Commission, Emomotimi Agama, has cautioned Nigerians to be aware of online platforms promising unrealistic financial returns. Speaking recently, Agama stressed the registration with the SEC is the key marker of legitimacy for any investment scheme. The SEC DG said many fraudulent schemes lure victims with promises of outrageous profits, noting that the Commission has issued more than 85 advisories against such illegal operators. Agama also cited Section 3A of the Investment and Security Act 2025, which empowers the SEC to regulate businesses in Nigerian capital market. He urged Nigerians to contact the Commission offices in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Port Harcourt, or use the upcoming digital platforms to confirm the status of investment firms. For more details on that story, see the Hope newspaper with the headline SEC warns Nigerians against fake investment platforms, Ponzi schemes.
And still on the Punch newspaper, we have 2025 revenue targets met. No more borrowing, says Tinubu. Now to the detail. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday in Abuja declared that Nigeria had met its revenue target for 2025 ahead of schedule and would no longer rely on borrowing to fund its budget. Addressing stakeholders of the Buhari's organization who visited him at the presidential villa in Abuja, Tinubu said his administration on all revenue drive had yield enough to meet this year's projection by August, reducing Nigerians' dependency on external loans. He said, and I quote, "Today I stand here before you to brag. Nigeria is not borrowing. we have met our revenue target for the year, and we met it in August, Tinubu told the delegation, which include former Nasarawa State Governor Senator Tanko Almokara and other chieftaincy of the ruling All Progressive Congress. Tinubu also said the exchange rate had stabilized after initial turbulence, noting that Naira had appreciated from over 1,900 Naira per dollar to about 1,450 Naira per dollar since he unified the foreign exchange window last year. To check this story, you can check the Punch newspaper with the headline 2025 revenue target met. No more borrowing, says Tinubu.
Still on the Hope newspaper, talking Ekiti 2026, my ambition not worth blood of any citizen, says Oyebanji. And now the details. Ekiti State Governor Mr. Biodun Oyebanji has urged the people of the state to maintain peace and orderliness as the state approaches electionary period, stressing that he owes it a duty to protect lives and property of all citizens and maintain peace by all means. The governor assured the citizens of the state that his administration is determined to protect the state and work hard to prevent breakdown of law and order in the build-up of governorship primaries in October this year, the main election in June 2026. He pointed out that his aspirations is not worth the precious blood of any Ekiti person. Addressing the people of Ekiti State in the statewide broadcast relayed on all radios and television stations in the state recently, Oyebanji stressed that the security agencies will be on alert and will not allow anybody to bloodstain the immaculate name of Ekiti as a peaceful and progressive state. The governor appealed to all Ekiti people to go about their normal legitimate activities without fear or hesitation, noting that security agencies have been properly briefed to ensure a peaceful environment and to quickly deal with any threats without let or favor. For more details on that story, see the Hope newspaper with the headline, "My ambition not worth blood of any citizen," says Oyebanji.
Still on the Punch newspaper, we have again Southwest tops as voters registration hits 2.5 million. Now to the detail. The Independent National Electoral Commission has provided an update on the ongoing nationwide continuous voters registration, revealing that over 2.5 million Nigerians have completed their online pre-registration since the exercise commenced on August 18, 2025. In a statement released on Tuesday, the National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voters Education Committee, Sam Olumekun, disclosed that as of Sunday, August 31st, 2025, a total number of 2.5 million Nigerians had successfully pre-registered online. He said, and I quote, "The exercise, which started on Monday, 18th August 2025, is now in its second week. As of Sunday, 31st of August 2025, a total number of 2,532,662 Nigerians pre-registered online. Last week, the Commission published the detailed breakdown of the figure at the end of the week one of the exercise. To check this story, you can check the Punch newspaper with the headline, "Again, Southwest tops as voters pre-registration hits 2.5 million."
Still on the Punch newspaper, Atiku slams federal government as bandits sack Kwara village. And now the details. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has criticized Bola Tinubu's led federal government administration over worsening insecurity, particularly in Kwara State, where bandits have reportedly sacked a community in Patigi local government area. In a statement on its social media account, Atiku lamented what he described as the administration's monumental failure to protect citizens, warning that the violence in the North Central had reached alarming levels. Atiku noted that by May 2025, just 2 years into Tinubu's presidency, over 10,000 lives had been lost in the northern state, with Benue accounting for more than half. Atiku also called out Nigerian police, warning them against partisanship. He also urged residents to remain vigilant and share intelligence with security agencies to strengthen the fight against banditry. For more details on that story, the Punch newspaper has it with the headline, Atiku slams FG as bandits sack Kwara village.
Still reading stories coming through your hair from the Punch newspaper as well. We have customs intercept firearms, 4,841 ammunition in southwest. Now to the detail. The Nigerian Customs Service Federal Operation Unit Zone 1 Ikeja has announced that it intercepted a total number of 15 assaulted rifles, 4,841 rounds of ammunition, and other contraband within the southwestern region of the country in August. This is even as the unit said that the move was part of the ongoing offensive exercise to dismantle smuggling network within the region. The custom area controller in the charge of the unit, Muhammadu Shaibu, stated this while addressing journalists at the command in Ikeja on Tuesday. Shaibu explained that the unit, acting on credible intelligence, intercepted a Nissan Amira vehicle suspected of carrying prohibited items through the Ilara Bush path near the border in Ogun State. He stressed that upon sighting officers of the command, the driver and one passenger abandoned the vehicle and fled into the bush to evade arrest. According to him, a thorough search of the intercepted vehicle revealed that the contraband were carefully concealed within second-hand clothing and carton of spaghetti. For more information on this story, you can check the Punch newspaper with the headline, Custom Intercept Firearms, 4,841 ammunition in southwest.
Still on the Punch newspaper, Osun Deputy Governor, ex-PDP scribe face anti-party allegations. And now the details. The People Democratic Party in Ife Federal Constituency has passed a vote of no confidence in Osun State Deputy Governor Kola Adewusi and a former National Secretary of the party, Professor Wale Oladipo, accusing them of engaging in anti-party activities. The resolution was contained in a communique issued after the constituency meeting, a copy of which was obtained in Osogbo recently. Also sanctioned in the communique was the Ife East Local Government PDP Chairman Olasukomi Makinde. Explaining the decision, the party alleged that the three leaders had continued to fraternize with members representing Ife Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Bimbo Ajilesoro, who recently defected from the PDP to the All Progressive Congress. For more details on that story, the Punch newspaper has it with the headline, Osun Deputy Governor, ex-PDP scribe face anti-party allegations.
And with that, we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we will give you details of the further stories. And welcome back. You are still listening to In the Papers, a newspaper review program on iPower 102.7 FM, Emureile, Owo, Ondo State. Another story coming through your hair from the Punch newspaper as well. We have from the Punch newspaper, we have convention, Wike's camp demands ignite fresh PDP fold. Now to the detail. Governor-elect on the platform of the People's Democratic Party alongside the party's national chairman Umar Damangum and other leaders have affirmed that the National Elective Convention scheduled for the November 15th and 16th in Ibadan, Oyo State will end despite the conditions set by the FCT Minister Nelson Wike's camp. Speaking on behalf of the governors in Abuja on Tuesday at the inauguration of the 119 members National Convention Planning Committee chaired by Adamawa State Governor Ahmadu Fintiri, the chairman of the People's Democratic Party Governors Forum, and Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed declared that they are not cowards. The governors, in a clear response to Wike's camp on Monday night, statement also vowed to take disciplinary action against those undermining the party's interest, insisting that the People's Democratic Party will not bow to arrogance and impunity or what they describe as faction of fools. In the same vein, the PDP Board of Trustee Chairman Adolphus Wabara, represented by the Secretary Ahmadu McCarthy, and other party leaders emphasized that both northern and southern leaders are free to microzone party position, while stressing that interested members equally have the right to contest. After weathering a prolonged internal crisis, the People Democratic Party scheduled its November convention to elect new members of the National Working Committee as part of efforts to reposition the party. To check this story for more information, you can check the Punch newspaper with the headline Convention, Wike's camp demands ignite fresh PDP fraud.
Still in the Punch newspaper, Nigerian unshaken by Trump tariff trade policies, says Tinubu. And now the details. President Bola Tinubu has recently stated that his administration will remain resilient and has no fear of the trade policy direction of U.S. President Donald Trump, particularly tariffs targeting Nigerian exports. Tinubu made these remarks when he received the audience members of the Buhari-led by former Governor Nasarawa State Senator Tanko Almakuri, who paid him a solidarity visit at the presidential villa in Abuja. The president cited Nigerian current economic trajectory and growing non-oil revenues as buffers against external shock. For more details on that story, the Punch newspaper has it with the headline, Nigerians unshaken by Trump's tariffs trade policy, says Tinubu.
And you can share your perspective, your opinion about the stories read so far by calling us on our number or connecting with us via the number by sending a text message to our WhatsApp number or calling us on 081 6552 4699. 081 6552 4699. Moving on with the story coming from the Punch newspaper as well, we have National Assembly caution WAHEC on planned CBT rollout. Now to the detail of the story. Lawmakers in the National Assembly have cautioned the Western African Examination Council to tread carefully in its planned introduction of computer-based testing for the Western African Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination.
We've got a call there. Hello, who's on the line? Hello? A
Good morning,
beautiful
you're welcome.
morning to you.
You're welcome to the program. Okay, you have the floor, sir.
former governor of Benue State, and also my prayer to and granting to all of them now that the students have appointment, they came here today, they failed today, everything has been focusing. Part of that, the brain man now, has things to answer. So all I just want to do that these people are just working for their personal interest. Now come to think of it. We have a 2000 president now that we have. What have we benefited from 2000 president? If we are already talking about that our brother is here. Now we have the council that Supreme Court has given room. He has become law that he will release today. It's 3 years running, he's still in operation. We have found a rule, his account has been fixed and fixed today. He has not been released.
Yes, I note that all the comments are your own personal opinion.
If we continue like this, that these people are working, that it is that, and now that PDP is slowly giving a candidate to the South and now look at the crisis that the country is causing now. Now you said you want South and your party now said that now we are slowly to the South.
Thank you very much, sir. Note that all the comments, interception, perception, and your view are your personal opinion on the program. Thank you very much for that, sir. Moving on with the story coming from the Punch newspaper as well, we have the National Assembly caution WAEC on planned CBT rollout. Now to the detail of the story. Lawmakers in the National Assembly have cautioned the Western African Examination Council to tread carefully in its planned introduction of computer-based testing for the West African Senior Secondary School Certificate examination, warning that any glitch in the 2026 rollout could jeopardize the future of millions of Nigerian students. WAEC had earlier given firm assurance that the new computer-based examination would be accessible to students in every part of the country, regardless of the location or access to technology. Head of the WAEC National Office, Dr. Amos Dungot, made the pledge on Tuesday in Abuja during a sensational session organized for its members of the National Assembly Committee on Education. He explained that a phased approach was already being implemented, stating that with objective question before expanding to theory and practical components to allow students and candidates to adapt. To check the story, you can check the Punch newspaper with the headline National Assembly caution WAEC on planned CBT rollout.
Now moving on to the Nation newspaper, PTAD ICPC signed MOU to tackle corruption in DBS. And now the details. The Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, and Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, have signed a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, to tackle corruption in the administration of Defined Benefit Scheme, DBS. The MOU was signed by the Executive Secretary of PTAD, Tolulope Odunoya, and the Honorable Chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN. This legal document provides a framework of collaboration between both institutions in monitoring, investigating, and preventing corrupt practices within the DBS pension system. The ICPC chairman, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN, emphasized that joining forces with PTAD is a strong step forward, curbing corrupt practices in the administration of the Defined Benefit Pension Scheme. He also commended the Executive Secretary for her unwavering commitment towards the fight against corruption in federal government Defined Benefit Pension Scheme. For more details on that story, check the Nation newspaper with the headline PTAD ICPC sign MOU to tackle corruption in DBS.
And if you are just joining, you are on to In the Papers, a newspaper review program on iPower 102.7 FM in Murele, Owo, Ondo State. Still to come on the other side, when we go on a short break, when we come back, we will give you stories from further newspapers in Nigeria.
This time, can I call the number instead?
Yes.
And I want to tell them that. I want to tell them that. Welcome back. You're still onto iPower 102.7 FM, and the program is still in the papers. To render your views on any of the stories read out to you, the number to call is 081-655-24699, 081-655-24699, and the rules are not to incite the public, and please, each caller has 2 minutes to just 2 minutes. Back to our stories. On the Nation newspaper, federal government approves appointment of 4 DCGs, 12 ACGs for customs. And now the detail. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, Wale Edun, has approved the appointment of 4 Deputy Comptroller General of Customs and 12 Assistant Comptroller General of Customs. The Nigerian Customs Services and National Public Relations Officer, Assistant Comptroller of Customs, Abdullahi Maiwada, made this statement known recently. The statement informed 3,312 senior officers were also promoted. It also noted that appointments were made to fill vacancies created by the recent retirement of some management members, while also strengthening equitable representation within the service leadership structure. NCS added that the appointments were also in line with the availability of positions across the 6 geopolitical zones and in strict compliances with the federal character policy of government as provided in Section 14(4) of the Nigerian Customs Services Act. For more details on that story, check the Nation newspaper with the headline, Federal Government approves appointment of 4 DCGs, 12 ACGs for customs.
Away from that to the Daily Post newspaper, a breaking news coming from there. We have Eid-el-Maulud, Nigerian government declares Friday public holiday. Now to the detail of the story. The federal government has announced that Friday, September 5, 2025 will be a public holiday to mark Eid-el-Maulud, the birth of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. This was confirmed in a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Interior, Dr. Madegla Ajani, on Tuesday in Abuja. According to the statement, the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunjiojo, extended warm greetings to Muslims in Nigeria and across the world. He urged Muslim Ummah to emulate the Prophet's virtues of peace, love, humility, tolerance, and compassion, stressing that these values are crucial to building a united and progressive nation. To check this story, you can check the Daily Post newspaper with the headline, Eid-el-Maulud, Nigerian government declares Friday public holiday.
Still on the Nation newspaper, Tinubu recalls NTA DG, ED News reverses fresh appointment. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has ordered the recall of Mr. Saliu Abdullahi Dembos as Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority (NTA), effectively reversing recent changes in the management of the state-owned broadcaster Dembos, who was first appointed by President Tinubu in October 2023, briefly vacated the position following new appointments announced last week. With latest directives, he will now return to complete his 3-year tenure. Similarly, the president directed the reinstatement of Mr. Ayo Adewuyi as Executive Director of News. Adewuyi, who was appointed in 2024, is expected to continue in office until the end of his tenure in 2027. The president's decision also sets aside newly announced appointment of Director General and Executive Director of News and Executive Director of Marketing and Managing Director of NTA Enterprises, Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, who disclosed the development in a statement recently, explained that the President's directive was to ensure continuity and respect for all tenures of officials previously appointed. For more details on this story, check the Nation newspaper with the headline, Tinubu recalls NTA DG, ED News reverses fresh appointment.
Still on the Daily Post newspaper, where we have Tinubu's order security review in Katsina back state police. Now to the detail. President Bola Tinubu has ordered an instant review of security operations in Katsina State. In a statement by his senior special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, on Tuesday, the president also pleaded to boost the fight against banditry through the deployment of advanced military, hardware, and surveillance gadgets. Tinubu further stated that the country's security challenges were solvable, assuring Nigerians that his administration was considering the establishment of the state police and the upgrade of forest guards to reinforce grassroots security. The president also emphasized the need for security outfits that understood local terrain and culture, adding that the daily feedback on security operation in the state must now be provided. For further information on the story, check the Daily Post newspaper with the headline, Tinubu orders security review in Katsina backs state police.
Onto the Daily Post newspaper with this headline, Benue Varsity Staff Union orders indefinite strike over unresolved welfare issues. And now the details. The Joint Action Committee of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Associated and Educational Institutions and the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities at Moses Orisho Adasu University, Makurdi, had declared an indefinite strike over non-payment of welfare arrears to members. This decision comes on the heels of what the union described as protracted and unjustifiable delays in payment of their welfare package, leaving thousands of them in financial distress. The union announced the decision recently after an emergency congress, citing the management's failure to implement a new national minimum wage, the 25-35% salary increase, and payment arrears. Other demands include the implementation of promotion increments for staff promoted between 2022 and 2024, settlement of gratuities, regular payment of pensions with arrears, and reinstatement of monthly remittances to contributory pension schemes. For more details on that story, the Daily Post newspaper has it with the headline, Benue Varsity Staff Union orders indefinite strike over unresolved welfare issues.
And if you are just joining, you are listening to In the Papers, a newspaper review program on iPower 102.7 FM, Emurele or Ondo State, to share your perspective, your opinion, or your own personal influence on the program. You can connect with us via our YouTube by searching for iPower 102.7 FM, or connect with us via our number, or you can text us on WhatsApp as well by calling us on 081 6552 4699, 081 6552 4699. Moving on with the story coming from the Daily Post newspaper, we have El Rufai should be questioned over bandits allegation, says Dati Baba Ahmed. Now to the detail. The 2023 Labour Party vice presidential candidate Dati Baba Ahmed has said that the former Kano State Governor Nasir El Rufai should be questioned over allegation that the federal government was paying bandits Dati Baba Ahmed made this remark on Tuesday while appearing as a guest on Politics Today, a program on Channel Television. He also dismissed the reputed issued by the Office of the National Security Advisor (NSA) Nuhu Rabidu regarding El-Rufai comments. He said, and I quote, "If the so-called Office of the National Security Advisor would take this statement with levity, then Nuhu Rabiu was never a policeman. He is not qualified lawyer. He should not be in that office." According to El-Rufai, he said El-Rufai should write statements to the police and to the court. For further information on this story, you can check the Daily Post newspaper with the headline, "El-Rufai should be questioned over bandits allegation," says Dati Baba Ahmed.
Still on the Daily Post newspaper, NCAA DG raises alarm over aviation fraud, seeks EFCC's intervention. And now the details. The Director General (DG) of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA), Captain Chris Najomo, has raised the alarm over the rise in cases of fraudulent activities in the aviation industry in Nigeria. He noted that such directly affects aviation safety, economic regulations, and investors' confidence. The DG, who noted this when he led the delegation of his management team on courtesy visit to the executive chairman of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), Mr. Ola Olukoyede, in his office, urged the commission to intervene to address the issue. Najomo identified high-value transactions such as aircraft purchases, leasing arrangements, foreign maintenance contracts, and procurement of safety infrastructures as areas vulnerable to fraud, as well as money laundering. He raised concerns over the non-remittance of mandatory 5% ticket sales charge (TSC) and cargo sales charge (CSC) by some commercial airlines, stating that such non-compliance occasions shortfalls the NCAA's internally generated revenue needed for adequate safety oversight. For more details on that story, the Daily Post newspaper has it with the headline, "NCAA DG raises alarm over aviation fraud, seeks EFCC's intervention."
And lastly, from our side, a story coming from the Punch newspaper, where the federal varsities begin replacement of migrated retired lecturers. Now to the detail. Federal universities and the other higher institutions of learning across the country have begun fresh recruitment of academics and non-teaching staff to replace retired and migrated workers. The recruitment drive follows the reversal of the ban on employment in tertiary institutions earlier imposed by the administration of the late former President Muhammadu Buhari. The restriction was lifted by President Bola Tinubu's administration. In a statement, the Minister of Education, Dr. Tuji Alausa, said the Federal Ministry of Education would supervise the process to ensure transparency and fairness, adding that institutions must obtain waivers before embarking on recruitment. He directed all federal tertiary institutions with approved waivers to publicly advertise vacancy in at least one national daily newspaper, on their website, and in relevant academic and professional journals. He said, and I quote, "This directive aims to ensure a transparent, open, and competitive recruitment process that offers equal opportunities to all eligible Nigerians. In addition, all federal tertiary institutions are reminded to submit their recruitment needs to the ministry for review by the Committee on Waiver and Recruitment." To check this story for further information, you can check the Punch newspaper with the headline, "Federal Varsities begin replacement of migrated and retired lecturers." INIOLUWA.
Yes.
I think with that we've come to the end of today's edition.
Yes, we
We'll go
have.
to the second segment where we'll give the callers, the people at home, the opportunities for them to call in and
Render their
review
views.
their own perspective
Yes.
about the program. And while doing that, we'll be giving them the headlines from this read or what we've read so far for today's edition. Let's go on a short break. When it comes back, we'll do that.
Am I starting? Okay. Glad to have you back. You're still onto iPower 102.7 FM, and the program is still in the papers. The headline from my end on the Hope newspaper, I've got Ayedatiwa jerks up salaries for Amotekun operatives.
And yes, you can call us by trying via our studio line or testing us on our WhatsApp by calling us on 08165524699. 08165524699. But with another headline coming from my side from the Ondo State as well, we have Ondo approves 350 million naira for student scholarship bursary from the Punch newspaper as well.
We told you on the Hope newspaper, SEC warns Nigerians against fake investment platforms, Ponzi schemes.
Still from the Punch newspaper as well, we have 2025 revenue target met. No more borrowing, says Tinubu. You can also share your perspective about any read headline, any noted headline that you want to share your perspective or your opinion on the program. You can also reach us on our YouTube by searching for iPower 102.7 FM on our YouTube. But if you want to call or you want to test us, you can reach out to us by calling this number or testing this number on WhatsApp on 081 6552 4699. 081 6552 4699. INIOLUWA, moving on with another headline.
Yes, we also read out to you on AKT 2026, my ambition not worth blood of any citizen, says Oyebanji.
Still on the Punch newspaper, we have again Southwest tops as voters pre-registration. It's 2.5 million.
Joining you on the Punch newspaper, National Assembly cautions WAHEC on planned CBT rollout.
Away from that to the Daily Post newspaper, we have Eid al-Maulud. Nigerian government declares Friday public holiday.
Atiku slams federal government as bandits sack Kwara village.
Away from that to the Punch newspaper, where I have customs intercept firearms, 4,841 ammunition in Southwest.
The number to call to render your views is 081-655-24699. I repeat, 081-655-24699. And still on the Punch newspaper, we read out to you Osun Deputy Governor, ex-PDP scribe face anti-party allegations.
Moving on with the biggest headline from the Punch newspaper, we have convention. Wike's camp demands ignite fresh PDP food.
This is coming from President Bola Tinubu. Nigerians unshaken by Trump's tariff trade policies.
Still on the Punch newspaper as well, we have National Assembly cautioned WAHEC on planned CBT rollout.
On the Nation newspaper, we told you that PTAD ICPC signed MOU to tackle corruption in DBS.
Away from that to the Daily Post newspaper, where I have Tinubu orders security review in Katsina, backs state police.
We also read to you that the federal government has approved appointment of 4 DCGs, 12 ACGs for customs.
Still on the Daily Post newspaper as well, we have El Rufai should be questioned over bandits' allegation, says Dati Baba Ahmed.
We informed you on the Nation newspaper that Tinubu has recalled NTA DG ED News and has reversed fresh appointments.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's edition of In the Papers, a newspaper review program on iPower 102.7 FM, Emureile Owo, Ondo State. INIOLUWA, it's been a pleasant morning.
It has been a pleasant morning, and on behalf of myself, INIOLUWA Adekoya, and my colleague,
ABDULRASAQ Alawaye,
thank you for joining us. Until next time, have a productive and pleasant day.
Best station